Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. Droid Life Show today, episode 199. We're one away from the big 200. I don't know what that means, but it's Friday, March 29th. I'm your host, Kellen. With me, Tim. Tim, say hi.
Hey, guys. How's it going? Tim here.
So, welcome back to the show. Not a huge news show this week, but we do have a couple of weeks worth of stuff to talk about, like Google's big Stadia set of announcements around their gaming ideas. The G8, the LG G8 that you guys probably forgot about. You can actually pre-order that now. It didn't just disappear. We've got new Galaxy Fold leaks, Galaxy Note 10 rumor that's kind of interesting. Some other stuff like, we want to talk about like what phones everyone who reads Droid Life owns, and the numbers are actually a little more shocking than I thought. YouTube TV's everywhere now, and of course trivia is back. So trivia back. We're giving away $10 Google Play credit to all of our winners this week. If you're new around here, at the end of the show, once we get through all of our topics, we do trivia, where we just ask some questions, and people who answer in the chat, if they're watching live, we give them prizes. We've given away stuff from like phones to headphones to chargers to whatever. This week, we're just giving everyone that $10 Google Play credit. It's really easy.
Get yourself a movie. Get yourself an app. A book.
Get something, right?
Get smart.
Get something, yeah. So we'll dive into topics first, though. Before we do that, Nick Fisher just dropped a $1.99 donation. Said, "Hey, free super hat from YouTube Premium." Wait,
Super
what?
Chat's giving out free money for Super Chats, I guess. So that's sweet.
Wait, so if you do a super chat, you get a free hat? Really?
No, a free. He meant Super Chat, not Super Hat.
I was like, I like hats. Okay. Free super chat from YouTube Premium. So if you have YouTube Premium, you could just do free super chats?
I don't know. This is the first I've heard of it.
Nick, that's fantastic. All right. Anyways, thanks for the $1.99. Yeah, he says type. All right, so let's dive in first. I think the biggest thing, and this was a week ago now, but Google Stadia is Google's new game streaming platform. So they hosted an event at Game Developer Conference, GDC, and they announced this thing. Some of it surprising, some of it not. Like, we kind of knew they were working on some sort of streaming thing. There was rumors it might be a streaming gaming box, which it is not at all, but it is a service, and they will have a controller that they will sell that will work with the service, but you can use other controllers and things like that. You can use keyboard and mouse, whatever. So Stadia, the thing we don't know is price. We don't know how much this thing is going to cost, and we don't know exactly when it's launching, but it's coming this year. And initially, it's only coming to the US, Canada, the UK, and Europe, which is fine. We also don't know how much that controller is going to cost. So those are some of the basics right now. You can't sign up for it. We don't know how much it's going to cost. That stuff. We got more. Are these like the free? Free super chats. Look at this, just rolling in. Dustin with the $2 says, "Yep, you get one free." Clinton with the $2 YouTube Premium for the MF win. That's great. Apparently,
thank you so much, YouTube.
Thank you so much. And for those of you using your free one on us. All right, so Google Stadia. So the idea is you can play AAA games through this platform kind of anywhere, right? We initially thought it was going to start with just a Chrome browser because they had that Project Stream thing where they were letting some people test out a new Assassin's Creed game through a Chrome browser, but it's kind of beyond that. So, ooh, hello, doggy. So they're going to expand this so that you can play games through Stadia on like desktops, laptops, through your TV, through a Chromecast, on a tablet, on your phone. You can play games anywhere. Keyboard and mouse, if you want to play that way, on a computer, using a controller if you want to play that way. So you can kind of be in your office playing, you could be in your bedroom playing, you could be on the toilet playing, on the couch, whatever, right? You can play anywhere with any device, and there's like handoff of games between devices. You can continue on from wherever. So it sounds like this grand thing. We're talking up to 4K resolution streams at 60 frames per second, potentially HDR, surround sound. If they want to scale to 8K, they can one day. I don't know why you would do that. 10.7 GPU teraflops, which, that doesn't mean much to me. I'm sure
doesn't mean anything to anybody.
I'm sure that's great. They said that's way better than PlayStation 4 Pro and Xbox One X, whatever. It's cross-platform multiplayer. maybe. I mean, that's like all depends on games and stuff, right? Yeah. So like Google says they're going to do that, at least support that, but that's kind of up to games. By the way, Xavier just dropped $1. Thank you, Xavier, for the $1. Let's see, what else did they kind of say just in like the brief stuff? Well, the controller looks kind of cool. It looks like any old kind of controller, a little more googly styled. They want to partner with, obviously, YouTube gaming to do more streaming. So they want to make it easy to stream from Stadia through YouTube. There's probably going to be buttons in YouTube gaming that says like Stadia and things like that. They want to make like sharing clips and stuff easier, and playing with, you know, gamers who have followers and subscribers. They want to make it easier for them to play with them if that's something they're into. There's a Google Assistant button on the Stadia controller for some reason.
Because why not?
Yeah, because why not? Let's put Google Assistant on everything. I mean, like, these are like all ideas, right? Like, it sounds great, but again, we don't know when it's launching. We don't know the games that will launch with Stadia, which is kind of important, right? Like, they played that new Assassin's Creed game with Project Stream, and then they said there's like a Doom game coming. We could get like NBA 2K just because they talked about that during their unveiling of this thing, but we don't know, right? Like, is Fortnite going to be on there? I mean, like, we don't know. I'd imagine Fortnite. No. You don't think so? I mean, they're on everything else.
Yeah, I think Epic is going to stay in control of Fortnite and how it's put out there, and I just don't think
it's true.
Streaming it, yeah, I mean, I just don't think Epic's going to get involved.
That's true. I didn't really think about that because they are in control of distribution, and so if Google launches Stadia and it's some sort of store, Epic may not want to do that. So
yeah, because Google's gonna take the cuts of their in-app purchases or whatever, you know,
which is why they aren't on Google Play and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I didn't think about that. So maybe other games, right? Like, it's not gonna matter if there's no game. So we'll see. Again, they didn't talk about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's worries over like latency, the internet
input
connection.
Lag.
Yeah, the internet connection you're gonna need to be able to even stream properly. So the idea of it being available on all these devices is great. And this idea that maybe they'll have this big catalog is great. But yeah, you have to have good internet to be able to do this and play games properly. And then, yeah, latency and input lag. And like, we don't know, right? Are those going to be good or not?
Well, no one ever said the service was for everyone. You know, maybe it's just for the fortunate few who have good internet. So, you know, what sucks is in order to get good internet, you got to live in a decent spot, you know, to have that service. Yeah. And that sucks. You know, you'd always want to have a service that's available to everyone. But I was watching one YouTuber today who was talking about it. His name's Jack Frags. He's a Battlefield guy. And his main concern is he lives in the UK, doesn't have the greatest, like, internet connection out there, and was like, dude, I mean, will I be able to even stream 4K at 60 frames per second? Will I be limited to 1080p at 30 frames per second? Like, we just don't know a lot of those technical details yet. They can throw out teraflops, you know, but like that's happening on a server that's 1,000 miles away potentially. Right. I mean, it just doesn't matter. So we just don't know yet. I will say Project Stadia is the worst, or, you know, Stadia in general is just the worst name ever.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the name either.
Of course, yeah. I mean, it has a meaning, which we'll get to later. But I think they could have done better. And, you know, will this just be another Google service that gets canned a couple of years down the road if it doesn't pan out? I know that a lot of people are talking about, not just Google, but Microsoft, you know, is talking about just having a digital-only Xbox. I could see it potentially getting there, but it's only going to be available to those who, like you said, have great internet connections, people in like a metropolitan area.
Right.
So how do you get this adopted, you know, by people who don't have great internet? I don't think you do. So
yeah,
this is sort of like almost a niche thing.
Yeah, and I get like they're trying to target the streaming community and things like that, because Twitch has obviously been killing it in terms of streaming, whereas YouTube gaming not necessarily. But yeah, that's in the grand scale of everything, it's kind of a small group of people. And are you going to convince people from Twitch to switch over to YouTube gaming just for Stadia? I don't know. Especially not if it requires all of that. Like, I'm pretty sure some dude that doesn't have the greatest internet on the planet can probably be a streamer on Twitch and play like a console, right? But like
Sure.
Stadia, I don't know if you're gonna be able to do that. Like if you don't have good internet and your experience sucks and you're not gonna be a good gamer because your experience sucks on it. So it does seem like there's some limitations there. You brought up, is Google just going to abandon this thing soon? I think they told some media who asked that question, because that's what everyone asked Google when they announced something new, right? And they were like, oh no, we're totally behind this. Probably just like they were totally behind Hangouts as the future, and probably when they were behind Allo as the future of messaging. I mean, Google talks about being the future of whatever's new, and then they kill it in like a couple of years. So,
well, you can't ask Google to tell you like what their what their hopes are. Of course, they hope it takes off, but right. Google, they are the masters of throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. So, you can't get a straight answer from them because, they have no idea. So they can take a guess, Yeah.
So, and of course, they hope it's a big deal. I don't know. The presentation was flashy and they made a bunch of bold promises, and
it's always flashy.
The controller comes in 3 different colors, which is just great.
Holy moly. Does it have like paddles on the back though, like a scuff? Because if not, I can't use it.
No paddles, just like the double triggers, but no paddles.
I shan't be using Stadia then.
Well, you could probably use your scuff.
Yeah, they did say it does support it. You're right. Excuse me, but
you just
I won't have a Google
controller.
Exactly. I won't have a Google Assistant button then, and maybe I won't have special like streaming buttons or whatever. I mean, they mentioned that the controller did do some special stuff, so
it does. Yeah, it totally has like a quick like screenshot and share button and some other menus and things like that. Like it has kind of some cool stuff if you're like into sharing clips and you're a streamer. But
I am so interested in sharing clips.
Of course,
I pwn.
I see them all the time from you for sure.
Yeah. Real quickly before we get too far into it, Xavier with $1, Russell with $1, Scott with $1 2 times apparently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for that super chat love. God, I'm feeling it.
Super chat love today. So Stadia, in theory there's some cool things going on there. On the flip side of that, there's like all these questions that we just don't have answers to yet. And like when later in 2019 when things launch, hopefully we know more. The price isn't like $40 a month. They have fixed latency issues. Like I just, before the show, I was just seeing what some of the gaming sites said, and like PCGamer.com or something was like, I played Doom in the demo at the event and I died because the latency was crap. So I was like, oh great, that's perfect in the controlled demo setting. So
that's just what you want to hear.
Yeah, so they've got some things they got to prove to us before, I think. And then again, we just don't know the price. So it's kind of hard to get really excited when you go, I don't know how much this is going to cost. I don't know what games I can play. Is it just like, is it a monthly subscription service, or is it like Steam where you buy games and just play them through that, right? Like, do I go to the Stadia store and just buy Assassin's Creed for $60 and play it on there? Or am I paying $15 a month to play like all sorts of games? We don't even know that, do we?
No.
So yeah, very up in the air what we're going to think about this, but whatever.
And people were talking about pricing as well. I think if there's one thing we do know about Google is that they don't mind taking a hit in the beginning. A lot of their services launch for cheaper prices to get those early adopters. So expect to see a good price. However, I think about GeForce Now, and that's still in beta. I don't know if we ever got, I was trying to look to see if NVIDIA ever gave us like actual pricing per month for GeForce Now. I mean, that would be its closest kind of a comparison service. And I'm not seeing anything. All I'm seeing is beta access. And that thing's been around for a long time. So
did they just expand it like to either more devices or something, but they never like left it out of beta? It was something weird. Like something happened fairly recently on Shield where like it expanded the beta to something. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's still Mac OS, Windows PC, and Shield. But I know they've got Fortnite. So maybe that's a good sign that Fortnite would be available on Stadia. But yeah, again, no idea.
Tough to say. Either way, it's official now, and we probably won't hear anything else about it for 6 months.
Great.
5 months? When they say launching before the end of the year, that could mean like next year, January. So we'll see.
Could also be never.
Could also be never. This is true. Speaking of almost never launching, the LG G8 is officially launching now. LG yesterday announced that pre-orders are opening today. So they announced pre-orders yesterday. They're live today. And remember, the G8 was announced a month ago, and we have heard nothing about it from LG since then.
Almost 2 months.
Has it been almost 2 months? No.
Well,
February,
it was MWC, right?
Yeah.
Early February?
No, that's usually late February.
Oh.
So, but it's been a full month.
Way too long.
Doesn't it feel like forever? Because like Samsung announced stuff, has released phones, everyone's reviewed them. Like that's been done for a couple of weeks, and LG, we still had no idea. So, I mean, that's what LG does. So that's not something new. However, they announced the price. They announced pre-orders open today, and when is the device arrive? Oh, April 11th.
April 11th.
April 11th, and everyone will have it. AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint, US Cellular, Xfinity Mobile, Best Buy, B&H. Like it'll be sold unlocked, I think, all that stuff. It's a weird pricing announcement because they said it's going to cost like $820, except no one's selling it for $820. Like Verizon's running some deals where you can get like $1,000 in savings, which that doesn't even I don't even know how that adds up. AT&T will give you one free if you sign up for one of their 2.5-year contracts. T-Mobile is just selling the thing at $620 instead of $820, and they said that's not a deal. They said that's just what they're selling it at. So I don't even know where this $820 price originated from, except from LG just saying that. Best Buy is going to sell it for what, like $650, and then B&H has it for like $699.
$699.
Yeah, you can even keep track of what's going on. So
I must be the only person who's like physically mad at LG for this. I mean, this is a botched launch. It's terrible. The phone, as someone said, is lukewarm at best. It's not even on the hot scale. It's a G7 with a couple of tweaks, a time of flight camera,
a gesture thing.
Yeah, gesture thing. Man, this phone is dead. And the fact that there's not this kind of unison pre-order, not a unison launch price, it just goes to show that LG, it's completely possible they just have no idea anymore. Whoever's running that place has got to go. I keep saying, like, I'll do the job. And, we could both do the job. Scott Washington in the chat says, lukewarm, it's effing raw. Thank you for the Gordon Ramsay reference there. It is raw.
Are we going to approve that? Sure.
Oh, I'm approving the hell out of that. So LG's got me mad, and I guess we'll find out. I went hands-on with the device in San Francisco not too long ago ahead of the Galaxy phone. And like by the time I left San Francisco, I forgot LG I did anything. Like that phone was just so, who cares? Just because the Galaxy just blows it away. It's a mile ahead of it. So it's not good. It's going to be a bad year for LG. I'm telling you, it's going to be terrible. They're going to lose a ton of money.
Yeah,
a ton.
It feels like they didn't try that hard with the G8.
Try that hard.
And then they did that. They labeled a phone the V50, which is just a V40 with a new processor. So they certainly didn't try with that one. Yeah, I mean, but that's why, like, the only reason it's changed to 5G is because it has a processor that supports 5G, right? So like,
it's the race.
Yeah.
It's the race to get that first 5G. But if I look in the history book, man, the first phone to get 4G LTE, the Blunderbolt, that was a flop too. You don't want that thing.
You certainly can't bet on 5G early on.
5G.
Not early on, no. So they created the G8, which feels very much like a V30 with trimmer specs, except a vibrating screen and a hand wave gesture. And then they did a V50 5G, which is just a V40 with a new processor. What do they even have left? Because those are the two phones they do for the year, right? We get the new V series in the fall. So are we going to get a V60 already this year? A V51? A V55? Are we going to come up with something? I don't know.
Highly unlikely.
I'm with the chat. I don't know what the hell LG's doing anymore. This phone, it could be a fine phone. It has like mostly proper specs, and yeah, it has the dated notch from a year ago. I just kind of, like you said, you go, would you buy this over a Galaxy S10? And I don't think I would do that. So there's nothing that sticks out about this phone that makes me get excited about it. And the fact that it's way late and it feels like it's a year behind the S10. Like when you look at the G8, don't you go, Oh yeah. Okay, no, that doesn't really stack up to the S10, does it?
None of it does.
So I don't. It's not a good start to the year for LG, and we're at the end of March.
Yeah, sure. There's plenty of time to change it around or turn it around, change course, but no, not really. I mean, these things take so much time and effort, R&D, manufacture. I mean, they invested in this thing. Someone was like, "This is our 2019." Like, who's signing the checks? I got a bridge I could sell you. That is ridiculous.
How many execs though have they shuffled? Haven't they done some shuffling in the last couple of years? And
every year it's musical chairs with who's head of mobile, and right now it's their head of home entertainment. So whoever's doing TVs, who's doing apparently a really good job with that, home appliances, etc. He's now in charge of mobile too. So, but he's kind of taking over what was already existing. Yeah. Exactly, not on him. So maybe we'll give him to 2020 when Bernie's elected and this guy's been in charge for long enough. Maybe LG's going to put out a good phone. Oh, yeah. Okay.
If the guy's around that long.
Right? Exactly. So the year Bernie gets elected is the year LG's going to put out a good phone. There you go. I've said it. Never.
Timestamp it. Yeah. Timestamp it right there.
God damn.
Okay. Anyway, so the G8 is it's coming April 11th. We'll certainly get one in-house and review it in case you are interested.
Could be a sleeper.
Tim wrote up that the G8 was available for pre-order today, and there's one comment, and it was
one comment,
and it was Clean Droid with his amazing comment. That was it, right? That was like
I saw one other come in afterwards. I think so. It might be up to 2.
Okay, so clearly you guys are very excited about the LG G8. Speaking of semi-interesting products, let's move over to the Galaxy Fold. Let's change it up a little bit. So Samsung's Galaxy Fold, you guys know, was announced back at the S10. It's the foldable thing that costs $2,000, and it's coming April 26th or something. AT&T and T-Mobile will have it. So in the last week or so, some news that, I mean, we kind of know what this phone is, but we haven't had a lot of time with it in our hands, that sort of thing. So an AT&T model popped up in the wild from some YouTube channel that sells unlock services. It's like the worst video ever. They posted another one today, I believe, too. It's like the thing was filmed in portrait mode with shaky hand and stuff, but you can see this person like playing with the phone, and he unfolds it and puts it back together and stuff like that. That showed up. Then someone reached out to Sam Mobile and like gave their first impressions of the phone, saying that they have one. And then as all of that's going on, Samsung released a video that said, we test these things a lot. We fold them a lot, like 200,000 times in order to see how long this flexible glass will last. And they say it should last 200,000 times. Or they think 5 years worth of use if you unfold it 100 times per day. Do you think you use your phone? Well, I guess this is a different type of phone, but like how many times a day do you think you unlock your phone? I'm sure Digital Wellbeing could tell me that.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
It's got to be over 100.
Yeah, like got to be over 100, right?
It's got to be, right?
I was going to try and check Digital Wellbeing.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll actually tell you. So if you're using the Galaxy Fold, then, well, first of all, I don't know that any of us are keeping the Galaxy Fold for 5 years, although it is a $2,000 phone, so you might want to. But let's say you do 200 times a day. You should still be good for like 2 years, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
So, yeah, I mean, if we double the amount of times, then just 2.5 years basically before the thing dies on you, assuming it lasts that full time. So, yeah. I guess that's not terrible. It is a foldable piece of glass, so 2.5 years may be worth. It's fine. You probably also aren't going to unfold it every time you use it, right? That's mostly for doing special things or something instead of using that mini screen on the front. Anyway, so the interesting story that came out about the Galaxy Fold is this thing from Sam Mobile where someone like had their hands on it and gave them like this like mini review, and they said, well, the display for sure has a crease down the middle. Like, remember when this thing was unveiled, and I can't remember, was it DJ Co that was on stage holding it? Which Samsung exec was on stage holding it?
That was DJ, wasn't it?
I'm assuming it is. He's usually there. So he's holding the thing and he's like showing it off. And I remember I took a screenshot and that posted it about how it was bad. And I was like, hey, look at this crease in the middle. And all these people in the comments tapping away doing their like, yeah, you're terrible at this. You hate Samsung. That's not a crease. It's just not unfolded all the way, right? And it's like, okay, the executive that runs this thing at Samsung doesn't know how to unfold the thing all the way. Anyways, everything we've seen since then shows that when this thing is unfolded, you can see a crease in the damn thing, right? And so this person talked to Sam Mobile and said, yeah, there's 100% when it's folded fully flat, you can see this little crease in the middle. And not only that, they said as you're swiping around it, you can feel the crease every time you swipe your finger over it. So, you know, that's not amazing. And that kind of, and I get that this is like a first gen thing and we expect there to be some issues, but it's a $2,000 first gen thing. And if there is a crease and you have to feel that every time, that's kind of a major turnoff. Like, it feels like this isn't really quite ready for prime time if that's the case.
I still think it's awesome.
Yeah,
Still want it.
cool. Yeah, I kind of
like. I mean, it's just cool. It's just something different, right? I mean, we've been just doing phones. Like, I don't remember the last time I touched an Android tablet, and I'll be the first to tell you Android tablets suck. But this is like somewhere in the middle, and I kind of like that front, how it's just kind of small. You know, you can just kind of glance and use things sparingly, and then open it up on the couch, have a bigger display for watching stuff or doing things. Like, it could be the pile of cash I've got sitting next to me from Samsung, but like, I'm really excited for the Galaxy Fold, and I think you should buy one too.
I mean, we will try to get one in-house. Samsung doesn't talk to us, so we'll probably buy one, and it could be hard because these could be limited and getting one. And the thing is, like, if AT&T and T-Mobile are selling them, they'll put a whole bunch of restrictions around how you get it. Like, you have to sign up 6 new lines and sign contracts, and I'm not really interested in that. So we'll see. We will do whatever we can to try and get a hold of one of these things.
Lol, $2,000.
Seriously. Insane.
It's kind of ridiculous.
So, like, that's kind of concerning. This person also pointed out that there might be some software issues, like it's not quite ready, like something about like Chrome not re-rendering properly when you switch between the displays and stuff like that. But like, those are software bugs. I'm assuming they will figure out. These hands-off videos, though, the phone looks nice and also not nice. Like, on the outside, because it's all metal and they put this cool looking hinge on the outside, it looks kind of different and at least unique. And then you unfold it and you get the crease and you get this super rim around the whole thing. And there's the giant notch in the top right corner, which is odd. And when you fold it, we knew this, but it doesn't fold flat. So there's like a gap in between, like where the hinge is. So
like a binder.
Yes, like a binder. So there's some issues there. We got a month basically before it comes out, which is fine, but they're not going to improve the hardware before then. We just have to hope that the software becomes great. It's going to be a tough sell, but if anything, we know this industry loves to be early adopters of garbage. So this probably will sell like hotcakes for $2,000.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's enough Samsung fanboys out there to get it going.
Oh, so. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, lots of stuff has been coming out about this Fold. I'm assuming the people who actually do get word from Samsung and review units, they might have one soon. So we'll probably see more and more leaks about the Galaxy Fold very, very soon. If these random like unlock sim guys on YouTube have it, then I'm assuming more people are going to have it soon. Anyways, we'll try to get one for you so we can weigh in with our own trash thoughts on the Galaxy Fold.
Yeah, feel free to hit up Samsung Mobile US on Twitter and say, yo, the guys from Droid Life should get a Galaxy Fold for review. It won't help, but you could always try.
It definitely won't help, but you could always try.
Damn.
Still on Samsung, though, we got our first Galaxy Note 10 rumor.
Nice.
I did not read this at all, other than I know that it's rumored to not have any buttons. Do you want to talk about what this rumor is? Because I think I know, and I think I want to talk trash about this as well, but I don't know.
Well, you probably do, just considering your experience with keyless phones. But the report is keyless Galaxy Note 10, no physical buttons, no volume, no power, everything done with sort of sensitive sides, gestures, etc., and that squeezy sides. And that's it. And it's going to be apparently announced in August and released either late August or early September. And that's it. And so in that post, I talk about the U12, how that thing sucked. And
yeah, but it tried to have buttons. They were just fake buttons. Is this report that it's just going to be fully smooth on the side? Like, what was that what was that phone that just came out recently that had 0 buttons or ports?
Oh, well, that was a was that a Xiaomi or an Oppo?
No.
Redmi? No. I can't remember.
Somebody in the chat's gonna get this before we are. I'm gonna have to Google it. Someone in the chat has to know.
Either way, it's like that.
I'm looking it up right now because there's enough of a delay that no one knows.
Vivo NEX? Is that what it was? No,
it's the other company.
Come on. The Vivo Apex, yeah.
No, it's not. That I guess that could be one, but they weren't the first one. I swear we wrote this thing up.
We did. I remember it. It was Droid Life. The future has no buttons or whatever.
Still trying to find it.
Yeah, here it is. Meizu.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I still can't find our story on it. Great, Google.
Future has no buttons. You just have to remember the headline. I remember every headline we've ever posted.
Yeah, but you would think if I search for buttonless, portless phone Droid Life, it might find.
No. Well, did you put Droid Life first or last?
Last.
That's your problem.
It usually works. I mean, that's how I Google everything. Google hates us.
I always put Droid Life first.
Okay, so Meizu. Yeah, those guys. Okay, so are we talking about a phone like that? Or are we talking about U12?
Well, I mean, it was kind of lacking in specifics. It kept saying buttonless, keyless.
Huh.
No physical buttons. So I assume it'll still have ports and a speaker.
They're not going to get rid of ports, right? We'll have speakers. We'll definitely have USB-C and a headphone jack. Is taking away buttons one of those things that improves our life? I think that just makes everything more confusing. You have to think about things more.
If it's intuitive, if it's intuitive and smooth, then it's fine. You know, like if you just kind of like pick up your phone and you say like kind of maybe in a certain spot, kind of do a little press right there on the side. If it's sensitive enough, it goes up or down or whatever. Like, I don't know. I think in our memory banks, we are computers. We already know kind of like where the volume button should be and all that. Maybe just muscle memory. So maybe if they just sort of make them go away and just make it sensitive or have like a little, non-physical button like a key you don't press. But
there's got to be something as like an indicator. Some type of
indicator.
So that you know. Because otherwise, if I just have to remember that the left side, I just do a little swipey-do on the side and that changes the volume, that sucks. I need at least some sort of button indicator. Where I can, and not the way HTC did it, because that's terrible, because that never did work. I don't know. That just seems dumb. It just seems like we're trying to make it the sleekest looking phone ever with no buttons, just for the sake of being cool. But it sounds like a terrible idea.
Well, Samsung apparently disagrees with you because, according to who was it? ET News, who posted this report, their industry source. Samsung thinks that keyless and buttonless is the future. So that phones in the future will not have buttons. It'll all be gestures and other stuff. Sensitive, squeezy stuff.
Sometimes a little button is not a bad idea. Like pressing a power button to make your phone just kind of stop. Also, if your phone freezes and you need to like do a reboot, try doing that without buttons. Like that's not fun. Screenshots. I don't like
sensitive. We just don't know how they're going to implement it.
I just, in general, the idea of going buttonless sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah, you're a hater.
I am. I'm a gesture hater mostly, so that's probably partly why.
You're not forward thinking enough.
This is true. I do get stuck in my old ways.
Old man Kellen at it again.
Yes. All right. So talking about the future, Huawei P30 was announced this week.
Yeah.
And the P30 Pro. I shouldn't forget the P30
Don't
Pro.
forget the Pro.
So Huawei announced phones, and that's about all I have to say about that.
Well, there's not much else to say, unfortunately. Here in the U.S., as everyone knows, Huawei phones are not for sale through U.S. carriers or Amazon or Huawei's own consumer site. You can, of course, import them and find, other ways to bring them to the country. You're just probably never going to get an update for it, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. I mean, these sound great. And I'm being purposely short. Yeah. Like, they have lots of cameras. 40 megapixels, 20 megapixels, 50 times zooms. They've got the faded colorways, which I think they're doing okay and no one else is. It's fine. The phone looks sleek. It's got a little baby teardrop up top.
It looks like a Samsung with a baby teardrop.
Yeah. I mean, it still looks like, you know, they're
and
the
an iPhone
P20 or whatever. Yeah, and the specs are all there. We got storage and OLED displays and big batteries and in-display fingerprint readers and things, I think. But yeah, you can't buy Huawei phones in the US. It's hard to get really excited about these. I know we have some readers outside the US. There's probably some people in our chat right now not from the US, and they probably would love it if we were to dive into the world of Huawei, but like 90% of our readers are from the US, and so it's kind of hard for us to get super duper excited about whatever Huawei's doing.
Yeah, all I can say is if you do live in an area that does have Huawei compatibility, if you're not at war with China at the moment, Huawei seems like some solid devices. I know their software has gotten a lot better. I actually have a P20 Pro or something. It was last year's, like the camera god. And it was okay. Like, I didn't know if it was all that good. I don't know if I'd take this over the Pixel, but I took it with me to Hawaii when I was doing that big old camera shootout, and it was a fine phone. And the software has gotten a lot better than those Honor and Huawei phones I used back in the day, like the Mate 9 the Honor 8 and all that. Things have changed. So if you are able to get a Huawei phone, like I'd probably be checking it out, because they're right up there with Samsung in terms of, you know, the specs that they're offering and the camera and all that. So not a bad thing to look into if you're able to.
Well, and across the globe, because they're not in the US again, they sell more phones than anyone except Samsung, right? Like they're selling more than Apple often. They kind of flip-flop with Apple for number 2 and number 3, but they sell a lot of phones. If they were in the US, they probably would still sell a lot more phones, but the US government's really not a fan of them. So the P30 and P30 Pro look fantastic, and you can go on YouTubes and bloggers and find like early impressions, and people will show you the super zoomies and all that stuff. We just won't have that, I'm sorry. But we told you about it.
We certainly told you. I was trying to look at how many. Yeah, people seem to care. I mean, so the P30 P30 Pro will never come to the U.S.
No.
And that post has more than 20 comments, whereas the G8, it's up for pre-order here in the U.S. 2 comments. No one cares about LG. I'm back to LG, man. I'm so mad at them. Sorry, but yeah. Lucky you, because as Android, you know, I like having choice. I like having options. Mm-hmm. And with the U.S. government, and God, they're stingy. This whole no Huawei thing totally sucks. So
it actually does. I wouldn't mind actually using one of their phones for a while, but it
just a little bit. Yeah.
Make a lot of sense.
Like, do you care if they were like spying on you or anything? Like,
I typically don't worry too much about the spying stuff. I get everything from Google Play. I know there could be some back-end security hole where Huawei and the Chinese government are spying on me. But no, I'm maybe to a fault. I'm not really big on the worrying about that stuff. I kind of just hand over my life to whatever phone I use, which could be a huge mistake, but I would totally use a Huawei phone if they had any sort of presence here.
Same.
They just don't. Dan in the chat says tech YouTubers love Huawei. That's because Huawei flies them all over the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be why.
Yep. Yeah, they do. They go to China. They go to Europe.
They just flew everyone to Paris.
Yeah. So if you were getting flown around the world, would you want to talk smack about that company? You know, who's paying for your trips? No, you'd love on them a little bit. Maybe not overly to show, you know, what's going on, but you'd probably be like, okay, they're pretty cool.
You might fail to disclose that they flew you to Paris and wherever else they've flown you. But don't tell too much. We got to keep that going. Anyway, yes, that's the coverage that you see from Huawei on the YouTubes. Plenty of blogs too.
I'd be a shill. I just don't get asked to be a shill, and I hate that. Man. Tim wants to go to China. I want to see the Great Wall.
On Huawei's dime, though.
On Huawei's dime. I'm not going to do it on my own.
Yeah.
Anyway, Huawei, if you're listening, hook me up.
All right, moving out of there into more depressing talk. Google's Inbox, the greatest email service ever created that only fools refuse to use, dies next week.
Thank God.
Yeah, who's the fool now? So Google Inbox dies next week, April 2nd, we believe to be the last day. And you only have
couple of days?
4 days?
Yeah.
3 days? At least like 3. You have like 3 or so days if you're listening to this right now to find a replacement. I wish I could tell you what the best replacement is, but as Tim knows, I've been testing a new email app every other day, and I hate all of them.
Just use Gmail, man.
So you should probably just use Gmail because it's not terrible. It's not as good as Inbox. It's not terrible. Yeah. I tried, there's Outlook. Like Microsoft's Outlook app, a lot of people like. I don't necessarily love it that much, but I know there's a lot of DL readers that love it. Like when it first came out, I kind of like poked a little fun at it, and people were mad at me. They said, you just don't know. And they got mad. So Microsoft's Outlook app could be an option.
They
seriously got mad at me. There's Newton.
Because they're forced to use it for work.
Probably. That's actually a lot of it. There's Newton Mail, which Essential owns, by the way, now. And Newton Mail died last year, and then Essential just revived it. So there's Newton Mail, but Newton Mail costs $50 per year if you want to use it. I am testing Newton Mail under a free trial right now. It's like a 14-day free trial thing. It seems okay. It's lacking features, so you can't really customize much, but there's Newton Mail if you want to do Newton Mail and pay $50 per year. There's an app called Edison Mail, which I feel like I tried at one point in time, and it's free and a third party, but I think it's only like Android, iOS. Like I don't think they have a desktop experience. So on desktop, you'd have to find something else. Whereas like Newton has desktop and apps.
That's dumb.
Yeah. There's Spark, which Spark Mail has been on iOS and Mac forever. They have no Android, Windows, or web experiences. They've said like, look, we're going to try to launch around the time on Android that Inbox dies. So Inbox dies in 3 days and we still don't have Spark. So tough to say there. So like these are your options. And there's probably some even more obscure third-party apps. And like, speaking of privacy, do you trust them with your email? I think everyone's going to probably just go to Gmail, and just the Inbox people are just going to hate life for a little while, forever.
Yeah, I saw someone talking smack about the Gmail redesign. Like, bring it on, dude. The new Gmail is hot. Once it gets support for dark mode and it goes black, then it's going to be sick. Like, I get it. It's not as pretty as Inbox. It doesn't group things like Inbox. Like, who can get over yourselves? You know, it's super pretentious.
We Inbox users, we're just proud of the fact that we're smarter than everyone else. That's all.
So smart that they're dumping you hard with like no backup. They're saying, here you go, Gmail lifeboat. Hop on or just
they have this guide, right? Like Google put together this guide that says like, this is how to transition back to Gmail. And it's like the worst guide ever. Like none of the features from Inbox that we appreciate about Inbox are in Gmail. Like they just don't exist. Like they're like, we brought snoozing over. And it's like every email app outside of Gmail has had snoozing for like 4 years. So yeah, I think I told you my problem with Gmail is I need some more color. I need like a red bar at the top. Cause like all the white, that kind of pisses me off. But yeah, like the thing you were just making fun of me about, the grouping is actually why Inbox is great, because you can manage email pretty damn efficiently. Whereas like when I wake up in the morning to 30 emails in Gmail, I have to go like one by one and swipe through all the crap that I have in there. Inbox, I can just hit like one button. So that's what really pisses me off.
I mean, I tried to use Inbox so many times. I downloaded it over and over and again. I could just never quite grasp having to sort of learn the system with the grouping and all that stuff. And I appreciated that it pulled like travel data, which was awesome. And then I'd see that in Google Now. And when it worked, and package data, when it worked, it was cool. I just don't know if it was as quick and seamless as I would have liked it to be. It just felt like I could never really grasp it. Gmail, boom, I've got a huge inbox full of emails. I can look at them, or I can just mass delete. I typically just mass delete.
But you can't really mass delete because you have to like check the box for every single one. Like that's so tedious and terrible.
Nope, I go in there, I click that box for select all, delete. I'll skim the headlines. I'll see if it's marked as important or not, and if it's not important, it's gone. So
I've tried. I keep trying.
Well, you're gonna have to, because
I'm sure I'm just gonna
end
up in Gmail. Yeah, I'm sure I'll just end up in Gmail because, like I said, I'm on like the 17th Mac app that maybe has some sort of version on Android, and they're all bad compared to in my inbox experience. But we'll get there. So anyway, we got like 3 days left, and that's gonna suck.
What are you gonna do?
I mean, I'm probably just gonna take April 2nd off. Like, I'm just not gonna work that day.
Well, just quit email. Like, why even?
That's true. I could just quit doing email forever. That's actually not a terrible idea.
I always thought about that. I mean, like, why are we so attached to email? Like, fax me, bro. Like, it's 2019. Email is like so 2012.
Yeah, send me a digital fax through text message. That would be perfect.
Go. Yeah. Yep. Lars is saying, well, Brandon's talking about, maybe I deleted my Samsung money statement. Maybe I deleted the Huawei invite to China email. I mean, see, those things would have been marked as important.
Yeah.
And I would not have deleted them. So hopefully not.
That would be really funny, actually.
I need to check my spam, too. The Huawei stuff might have been marked as spam.
Yeah,
that's
probably.
possible. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm officially depressed now. Let's move on to... Apple had an event this week.
Nice.
It was this week. Yeah, it was Monday. I'll try to do this quickly if there's actually anything interesting from it. So Apple had an event, and they talked about services. They revealed no new hardware. They announced their own gaming service called, what was it? Apple Arcade. And they tried to take a little shot at Google, and they were like, you don't have to stream this. You can play all these games offline, except like they're all mobile games. And I know mobile gaming is kind of a thing, but no serious gamer plays mobile games on a regular basis. Okay, you do, but not like in a competitive way, I should say.
That's false.
It's totally not false.
Wait, what did you say?
I said mobile. You don't play mobile games in like a serious competitive way.
Yes, you do. Talk to the boys who over at Razer Phone, who they have championships all the time for their little mobile League of Legends or whatever. Don't quote
not in
me
this
on
country.
The game.
Not in this country. Damn it.
Oh Jesus. I think they maybe you're right. Maybe not in.
I'm
this
a mobile
country.
game hater. I am.
But
anyway.
I assure you. Sorry.
No. I know there's like mobile competitions in.
Even PUBG Mobile.
Oh yeah.
Competitive.
Again, I don't really think that's like a US thing, but Apple Arcade could be everywhere.
Fine.
Anyway, they announced that. They announced Apple News Plus, which is a subscription news service where you pay like $10 a month and you get access to a bunch of magazines. And speaking of no one doing something, no one reads magazines anymore. So I don't know why you would want to pay $10 a month to read magazines. Do people read magazines? When was the last time you read a magazine? When you weren't like flying somewhere?
Oh, never.
Okay. Because there's like a stack, I'm pretty sure, on my kitchen counter of like, my wife has like, I don't even know why she has a women's health subscription. I think someone signed her up for it because all of a sudden it just showed up one day and she's like, hey, thanks whoever subscribed me to this. I used to get magazines and then they just stacked, right? They just stacked. Yeah. So people keep saying in the chat that Apple just announced that AirPower died. I know, I saw that. I'm talking about Apple now, damn it. Can I get through this? And then we'll talk about AirPower died.
We're going to get there.
So Apple News Plus, then they announced Apple TV channels. I don't even know what the hell that is. It basically sounded like apps that you just install on your Apple TV. And then they announced Apple TV Plus. What was the like subscription thing where they're trying to be the new Netflix? I don't even know. They announced something where they're trying to be Netflix, and
bad idea.
Yeah, and the issue there is that all of their shows like no one's seen yet, and they want to be the new Netflix, and they signed up all these major celebrities to make shows and stuff, and they didn't announce pricing for that either. I don't even know if they said when that's coming. So they announced that too. And then the other thing they announced was a credit card for Apple Pay. Now, this actually sounds like the biggest deal of it all, I think. Like, if Apple were to get every one of their phone owners to sign up for a credit card with Apple, I can't even imagine how much more money they would be printing, which is kind of wild to think. And they're offering, like, instant cash back every day if you use Apple Pay, and depending on if you swipe and all this stuff. And, of course, they talked about privacy, and they said low interest rates, and we'll see.
Well, for who? For people with 850? With a beacon? I mean, come on.
Well, right. And like, we'll see like what low means to Apple, right?
Oh, 750.
But they had It's got to be, right?
Yeah.
But so they talked about like there's no late fees and annual fees and stuff like that, or an over limit fees, and I kind of just go, how's Apple actually gonna do that? Like not charge people late fees for not paying their bill? Like how does that work? I guess they just keep tacking on interest on top of interest. I'm not really sure there. They'll have a physical card which is made of titanium.
Holy, it's like laser etched. God,
it's like laser
you want to talk
etched.
about pretentious? It's the people who throw down their metal credit cards when paying the bill at the restaurant. Get over yourself, bruh.
Over yourself. What I love about that is I don't know how many people go, this is going to be the ultimate new like status symbol. And I'm like, really? Like everyone owns an iPhone. Everyone is going to have access to the Apple Card. There's nothing status about having a physical Apple Card other than it says that you own an iPhone. I kept saying like, oh yeah, it's going to be the ultimate. No, like it used to be like, what was it? The black card? Like, wasn't it like the Visa black card? Like that was like a status symbol because you had to be like stupid rich and all of this stuff to have that. Now,
pretty sure it was American Express.
Maybe it was American Express. Yeah, it was. American Express black. And there's been some other ones like that, right? Where rich people have these special cards. This is not that. This is not a status symbol. It just means you own an iPhone. Like that's all that it means. I don't know. I thought that was like one of the funniest responses I saw was that this is the new status symbol. What else did they announce?
If it's a good card, though, what, 2% cash back on most purchases? I mean, if it's a good card, it's got some good terms, interest rates, whatever, it could be a solid option for some people, like for the Apple people.
If you use the credit card, it's 1%. If you use Apple Pay, it's 2%. And if you buy things directly from Apple, it's 3%.
That's not bad.
I guess it's not.
I just don't buy any Apple products. So.
Right. That's the thing. If you use Apple Pay all the time, getting 2% daily cash is not terrible because they say you can just spend it like the next day. It's just there and all that stuff.
It's kind of solid.
Yeah. So, it's an interesting idea. And especially because it's like built into your phone and then they'll send you a physical card if you want it.
I want it.
And the daily cashback stuff makes it like more willing to probably use it to get daily cashback and stuff. So, I think it's actually kind of a cool idea, but I don't think Google's ever going to do that. Remember Google tried to have like the Google card? I think I probably still have one somewhere. It was just a debit card.
Google Wallet card? Yeah, I've got that.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
It's like fully dead though, right? You can't use it at all. Yeah.
I'm positive it's dead.
Yeah.
There's no way.
So Apple talked about Apple TV coming to a whole bunch of other TVs like Samsung, LG, Sony, Vizio TVs will have that app, and Roku and Fire TV will as well. No Android TV, of course, which is just perfect. So if you were interested in any of the Apple TV services, you'll have access to those soon. That's kind of it. After that, they spent about an hour and a half just like rolling out celebrities to talk about their shows that are upcoming. And to be honest, it gave me anxiety and a headache, and it was awful. So I stopped watching at that point. Anyways, Apple announced some stuff. I don't know that any of the stuff they announced is game changing. The credit card seems the most interesting of them all. And then I guess if the shows on their Apple TV Plus thing are really, really, really good, maybe you would want to sign up in addition to Netflix. That was the other thing, is the whole thing was about Apple going, please pay us more money per month for stuff, which I know they need to make money because iPhone sales have probably like plateaued a little bit here.
Sure.
But like, how much money are you going to pay Apple every month? I mean, some of this stuff we're talking
apparently a lot.
Yeah, if you do the arcade thing and the news thing and Apple TV Plus, you might be paying Apple like $60 a month just for services. I have no idea.
But if that's where you're getting all your content from, I think that's fine, right? I mean, if you're not paying for a cable subscription plan from your TV service for $100 a month or whatever, I know like cable TV still costs a fortune for some reason, even though I pay $35 a month for YouTube TV, and I love it to death.
Yes.
And then there's YouTube. Billions of hours of free content on the web. Are you kidding? So like I don't pay a lot for TV. So if people are getting all their content a month from Apple, so be it.
I guess if they want to.
Netflix though. I mean,
people like paying stuff to Apple.
Netflix is so good. No company should say, "Oh, we want to compete with Netflix." Good luck, dude. They've got original movies, original shows coming out every single day, and they're all pretty good. Like I just watched that new one, that Frontier one with Ben Affleck. Not terrible.
I do want to watch it, but I haven't been like rushing to the TV to watch it.
It's cool if you like kind of military special force stuff.
Well, I love heist movies. Like heist movies are one of those things that I like, and that's kind of what it is.
Okay, if you like heist movies, I gotta say it was like the worst heist movie I've ever seen.
Oh, really? Because that's what it's supposed to be. They just kind of make it all tough military assassin-y, but it's supposed to be a heist movie.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Like, you'll just have to watch it and get back to me, but I didn't think it was very good in terms of a heist movie, because I can't say anything about spoiling it. So,
don't do that. All right.
Either way, you should. I mean, but that just comes with my subscription. I didn't have to go to the movie theater and risk my life out there in the public to see that movie. So that was good.
Yeah, the idea of paying Apple on top of their really, 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 really expensive hardware, like a monthly fee to use some of their stuff, doesn't sound awesome. But people do love to pay Apple lots of stuff. Andy is currently in traffic. Says hi. Hello, Andy.
Yeah, hi, Andy. I just want to say, don't drive in trivia, please, because we're about to kick off trivia, and I don't want you texting and driving, and then you crash, and the cop is like, why are you crashing? He's like, I had to get that $10 Google Play credit.
But just think if Andy's driving and answers via voice and wins. Like,
oh, sheesh.
Like, that's skill and great mobile internet. Clinton with the
Clinton also said Tim didn't want to get mobbed by fans. That's funny because I almost forgot my own name. I was out just on the street the other day, and some guy was like, oh my God, there he is. And I was like, I thought my own name was, oh my God, there he is, because so many people say that around me. I stole that from some other podcast. That's Chris D'Elia. God, he's a funny man. So funny.
Too funny.
Anyway.
Oh, Andy's driving a manual too. Andy, if you win, we might just have to double your prize or something.
Oh, I like it. If he wins.
All right, moving on to other services, one of which you just mentioned, YouTube TV, is it's fully nationwide as of this week. So if you live in actually when they announced it, they gave a little shout out to Glendive, Montana, as if that's like the smallest, most garbage place on the planet. And then they said it's available everywhere. So I'm from Montana. I've never even been to Glendive. So I kind of get where Google is going from there. I feel like I played them in basketball or something, like Glendive. Like they're like, I think they're way out east, like in the middle. I don't even know where Glendive is, and I am from.
Well, now Montana. I got to look up the population and all that.
Yeah, we're looking up Glendive right now.
Glendive, Montana. We are looking at a population of 5,107. I mean, that's
huge.
That's solid.
I'm looking it up on the map now to see if I actually ever did make it there. Oh, baby, it's deep. Oh, it's almost to the border of North Dakota. Yeah, I've never been there. I've definitely
fly over state. I've
definitely never been to Glendive. The point they were making was that way out in the middle of nowhere, Glendive, Montana, it's available. So if you are in a town that has actual TV service, you can access YouTube TV now.
I wonder what Glendive's internet is like. You know, like who services that town? It can't be Comcast. There's got to be some local thing, I guess.
Yeah, so they satellite. Have. So I think Spectrum is the big one in Montana, which is basically Comcast. They're terrible, but I think it's Spectrum.
Nice.
Yeah. Scott says YouTube TV is kind of pricey. Someone's selling me on it.
Price?
Well, Tim and I got in at the original 35. Still, it seems fairly cheap. I mean, you have like upwards of 70 or so channels now. I know some of them are like crap you would never ever watch, but
what is it? $40 a month now?
It's $40 a month now. It's 40. Yeah. I don't know. Like I signed up for it. It's got all the local channels too, at least here in Portland. As Android TV apps on phones. It's super slick. Access it from computer. I don't know. It's great, I think. But again, Scott, you said you don't watch sports. I do, and it has all of the sports channels I need, so it's kind of perfect. It still doesn't have Food Network, HGTV, Travel Channel, MTV, Comedy Central. It doesn't have those groups of channels, so if you like those, you probably should not sign up for YouTube TV.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's pricey when you compare it to combining Hulu, just the kind of streaming aspect of Hulu, not the live TV part, and Netflix. But, I mean, TV is always just going to be more expensive just because those are networks that are trying to, run their companies and stuff. So it's more expensive.
Yeah. Also big, as Clinton mentions, unlimited DVR. You do have
Cloud
you have
DVR.
free DVR included, and you can record just everything with like the click of a button. It's super easy. So yeah. See, Scott says no Food Network. I know, no Food Network or HGTV
No
or
HGTV.
Travel Channel. Yeah,
Yep.
those are all not there.
That's the big one.
Yeah.
My girlfriend. We were going to what's that like $5 a month service or whatever, I forget. Either it has HGTV, Food Network, all that. It's just sort of like some add-on plan. You get like $7 a month. But I was like, no one's watching that much HGTV a month like in this house. Come on now.
So my mom was here babysitting the other night, and we came home. She was watching like House Hunters or something, and I was like, "How are you watching House Hunters? We don't have HGTV." And she was watching it through Hulu. So Hulu, which I signed up a while ago for like a $1. Holy shit!
Don't say it.
Dawn just dropped a $50 donation.
50 bomb Dawn. 50 bomb Dawn.
$50.
That's his name from now on. 50 bomb Dawn. 50 bomb Dawn.
Dawn
Wilson. What
Thank
a
you
boss.
so much. Jesus, dude. 50 bomb Dawn. Dawn just dropped 50. Not even kidding for those who are listening later on. That's nuts. Thank you so much. And he hasn't even said anything since. He just drops 50 and like pieced out. I'm not even sure.
He just made all you free super chat donations look pretty bad.
That's too funny. Wow, that is
Thank you, Don.
Thank you so much.
Much appreciated.
So anyway, I signed up for Hulu when they were doing some promo where it was like 99 cents a month for 6 months. I think that's almost gone. But so I have Hulu combined with YouTube TV right now. I don't have live channels on Hulu. So I think my mom was watching like pre-recorded like HGTV. So if you really love HGTV and you don't need to watch it live, like you can add on like Hulu or something like that. And if you're on Spotify, you can get Hulu for free. You know, you can start combining all of these things. And then I had access to apparently HGTV, and I didn't know it this entire time. I'd imagine Food Network's probably on there too. I had no idea.
I just got Hulu again with that Spotify deal. And so I have like a whole new service to learn about. And
now you
that
have
one
Handmaid's Tale.
And I was gonna say Handmaid's Tale. People keep telling me about it, so I gotta watch
It's the most depressing, screwed up show ever, and completely addicting.
It's coming back, right? Like season 3 or whatever.
Yeah, season 3 soon. Sometime soon, like a month.
So I gotta catch
a month or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Jesus, Don dropped $50.
I know he's gonna live up there for a long time on that timer.
He really is.
Yeah.
Nice work, Don. So anyway, YouTube TV is everywhere. Feel free to sign up. We're big fans of it. I used PlayStation View for a long time prior to YouTube TV, but PlayStation View kept shuffling networks and getting rid of stuff, and then they raised prices. DirecTV Now, I think, has also been shuffling and raising prices. I mean, Google raised price from 35 to 40, but that 35 price was never realistic for long. Right. I know a lot of people are into Sling TV, and they offer a couple of different bundles. You can combine different packages of stuff, right? Like maybe Sling has some of the stuff you want, and YouTube TV will get you through more. But then you're like, your cable price is starting to get up there. I guess what I'm trying to say is you can't have it all with streaming TV service. You just kind of can't.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned in the chat they combined Philo and YouTube TV. I don't know much about Philo. That's one of those I haven't really tried. So Don still hasn't said a word, by the way.
He doesn't have to say a word. He just alpha mailed all of us. He's just like 50 bomb, I'm out.
It's like, the wildest thing. He's just like, here's $50. Boom.
Total boss move. Only an alpha would do such a thing. I'm scared because I'm a beta. I'll say it right now. I'm a beta. I'm terrified. Don,
50 bomb.
He just came over here and owned it.
He really did.
Love it.
All right, AT&T this week, well, over the past couple of weeks, people have been doing this thing where they go, oh, AT&T, you're going to put a 5GE logo on your phones, huh? Well, we're going to put you to the test. And so people have been doing battles between Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T. And Verizon and T-Mobile obviously are still 4G LTE, which so is AT&T 5GE. They just put a fake name on top of it. What's going on?
I'm sorry. I'm just laughing at these silly comments.
The comments are pretty great today.
Don's not talking because he's frantically trying to reverse the $50. He was like, I only tried $5. What the hell? Classic.
Oh, man,
Not a boss move. Not a boss.
Too funny. So people have been doing speed tests, and every time I've seen someone do a speed test, I don't know if it's just because it makes a great headline or not, but they're saying that AT&T's 5GE is not even as fast in many situations as Verizon and T-Mobile's 4G LTE. Well, you know, that could be true because 5GE is not 5G. It's 4G LTE advanced, which is what T-Mobile and Verizon have everywhere at this point. Jesus.
Sorry.
The chat really is.
Chat's loving
Wait,
Don.
did he say so? He did.
He did.
Don.
Says, I am too old to say too much. Known Tim on social media, social network since the old days. Nice, dude.
Don, we really appreciate it, man.
Don's the man.
Thanks for finally chiming in, too. We were wondering what was going on there. What a beast. Don.
Hell
Big
yeah.
Don the bomb.
Sweet.
All right. So anyway, the speed test show the AT&T 5GE. Not surprising to anyone who understands that it's a fraud of a name. It's not as fast in many situations as Verizon and T-Mobile's networks. Okay, we can move right out of there, right? T-Mobile, though, has launched its trial network, or I should say its trial program of its home internet. So T-Mobile, they want to merge with Sprint to try and sell that package to the world and the U.S. government, number one. They said, look, we want to do at-home or home internet service, and we'll take it to rural places that don't have internet. We'll make it really fast and cheap, and there'll be no monthly fees, no contracts, all of that stuff, right? And they said, we're going to start by doing an LTE home internet. So they've started that, select customers, rural areas, not everyone. You can't just go sign up for this. They have to actually invite you to it. Anyway, that has started.
Nice.
It's $50 per month if you do auto pay, and you could get speeds upward of 50 megabits per second down. No fees, no equipment charges. All you pay is $50 per month, and they send you this little. It's basically a hotspot box if you think about it. It's probably a little bit bigger than a normal little hotspot. Has an LTE logo and button to show if you're connected properly, and you just plug it in. You hit up a little app on your phone, and then you have T-Mobile at home LTE.
Nice.
So the only concern I have with this is, you know, whenever we're traveling and we fire up the old DL BossFi hotspot.
Oh, yeah.
That is the name of our hotspot, by the way, is DL BossFi. The connection to it always sucks. It doesn't matter like what phone. Okay, not.
That's just not true.
All right, well, let me explain that. So what I mean is sometimes we lock on there and it's great and it gets us through the work we're doing. We've even had it where the connection's fast enough that we can upload a video or something like that through a computer. But does it kind of feel sometimes like the connection isn't that stable? You know what I mean? Like you fire it up and like my phone will download. It says I have like 50 down, 15 up. And then we fire up the BossFi and you connect and you go, this just doesn't feel that fast. Maybe it's just a me thing. I don't know.
Might just be a me thing or a you thing. Just because whenever I connect, it's like when I have to. So I will take anything over nothing in terms of Wi-Fi.
So I guess what I'm saying is I don't ever feel like it's the most stable connection in that situation. Maybe at home with a box it's more powerful and ready for this sort of situation than your phone is. It might be great. I just worry that like home internet over an LTE signal for one might not be the best. That said, if it becomes 5G and any of the promises are lived up to there with 5G, that could be different. But the LTE thing, I kind of just go, why don't you just sell these guys like a hotspot thing? I don't know. What happened to Don? You just gave him a big correct. Oh, he retired in 2011.
I still just living the dream and
that's awesome.
Watching Droid Life Pod. I mean, that's me one day when I retire. If kids my age are even going to be able to retire. No, I'm not thinking so. We'll be working until the day we die.
Yeah, you and I are never retiring.
Yeah, just sit around, hang out, drink a beer, watch tech, just revolutionize overnight, every night. But yeah, good stuff.
Oh man,
cheers, Don.
People are
Don the bomb.
Big bomb dono Don.
Big bomb dono bomb. Big bomb dono.
Bomb dono Don.
I love it.
I love it too. All right, final topic. We can do this quickly, but we ran a poll and said, dear DL readers, do you own Google, Samsung, or OnePlus phones, or do you own something else? And I was just curious, partly because those three phone manufacturers, when we talk about their phones, everyone gets excited. And when we talk about, as we mentioned earlier, LG or anybody else, no one seems to care that much. And the votes, assuming they can be taken seriously, sort of kind of confirm that. 5% of you say that you don't own a Google, Samsung, or OnePlus phone. 5%. So 41% was for Samsung, 27% was a Google, 27% was a OnePlus.
That's crazy.
I did actually kind of try to match these up to our actual analytics to see what phones people are browsing from. And like the Samsung and Google numbers were pretty spot on. The OnePlus numbers are bloated, probably because someone at OnePlus's forums was like, hey, everyone, go vote in this poll. So the numbers are actually sort of right in that sense. But Google and Samsung for us are number 1 and number 2 by far. And then like Apple was actually up there on our analytics. And then below that, OnePlus and Motorola were kind of mixed in. But yeah, so we're never talking about anything else outside of Samsung, Google, or OnePlus phones.
Apparently not. Unfortunately.
Oh, Justin's got a Moto G5S. All right.
Moto G5S Plus. Wow.
Pixel and Sammy here. Just reading to see if anyone has anything else. We have a Moto.
Yeah.
Clinton misses the old Moto. We all do.
We all miss the old Moto. Yep. Well, just because, I mean, hey, it's getting late now. Might be that time.
It's late. I think it's trivia
People
time.
have been asking. Bring it on. Seizure warning.
They're like, just stop talking and get to trivia. All right, it is trivia time. The lights are on. The dance is out. So for those of you new around here who don't know how this works, at the end of every show we do trivia. We have 5 questions. We will put the questions up on the screen if you're watching live on YouTube. And first question, whoever answers the fastest in the YouTube chat, you win, whatever the prizes are. And this week we are giving everyone who wins $10 in Google Play credit. So we have 5 questions. We'll have 5 winners. All you got to do is just answer as quickly as you can once we post that question, or read it out loud. Tim will read it too in the chat really fast. We'll tell you who wins. We just look at our screen and whoever's first with the right answer wins. Nice. Apologies if you think you're first on the screen. You probably aren't. We go with whatever's on our screen. Don't fight it.
Don't fight it. Don't email us saying, but I've got a screenshot. Nah, man.
I mean, you can, but we'll probably just tell you that you're wrong.
We're doing it by the books here.
And winner number 1, Dawn. I'm just kidding.
This is not a pay to times in a row.
This is not a pay to play event.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm ready for question number 1 when you are.
All right. Question. I'm not ready. I am ready now. Question number 1 is going up now. Now.
Stadia is the plural noun of what English word? Oh. Yes. Again, Stadia is the plural noun of what English word? Oh my God, Ben Jacobs with the quickness. Correct answer of stadium. Yes. Yes. Ben Jacobs, congratulations.
That was almost a trick question and then wasn't.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Ben was
win that.
Sorry?
I said, how did Ben win that, though? He was like spamming off some other stuff, including a lol, and then drops the stadium right answer.
Dude, he's got that quickness.
That was quick. Stadium.
That was super quick.
Stadium, the correct answer there.
$10, right. $10 I'm seeing a lot of correct guesses, so congratulations, everyone, if you got it right. But there can only be one. Ben Jacobs. Oh, there's only one Ben Jacobs.
This is true.
The dude's a winner. Question number 2, please.
Question number 2 is going up now.
So I may have brought this up earlier. What was the original monthly price of YouTube TV? So when it first launched, what was the original monthly price of YouTube TV?
Ooh,
Eli Kuznikov.
Yep.
With the correct answer of $35. Eli Kuznikov. Sounds like an NBA player's name.
He actually does sound like an NBA player. Also, if you typed in 35 and it says like pending review or something, we see all those. It's just like YouTube doing a spam thing. Eli was first. So if you did and you're like, mine didn't show, I was first. You weren't. Just throwing that out there. Eli did actually win. And I do see a bunch of you like Irvin and Nate and Zach. Like I see yours is all pending, but you guys weren't first anyway. So
don't worry.
Irvin, you weren't second, but you were close. You were like 4th or something.
Super close.
Yeah.
All right. And congratulations on your name, Eli Kuznikov, you lucky guy.
Definitely an NBA player.
Yeah, no one pronounces my last name right. Anyway, let's go with third question, please. Question number 3.
Question number 3 is up now.
How much RAM does the Galaxy Fold have?
Clinton should totally win this.
Again, how much RAM does the Galaxy Fold have? Zachary Webb.
I got Zach Webb with the win
with
there.
the correct answer of 12. He was the first one in. I'm seeing a ton of comments with 12. Yes, congratulations. Goes out to Zachary Webb.
I'm seriously though, where did Clinton not even answer this one? Because Clinton's had this running thing where for every answer he just puts 12.
12. Dude.
And I don't think he
tried,
did on this one. Wait, did he? He put 8.
Yep,
he answered with an 8.
Well, I see here he does have a 12. It was just it just wasn't fast enough. He must be delayed.
Must not have been fast enough. That's tough.
That's tough.
That one was almost built for you, Clinton.
It was built for Clinton. I tried. All right. All right. Question number 4, please.
All right. Question number 4 is up now.
What month is the Galaxy Note 10 reported to launch this year? What month is the Galaxy Note 10 reported to launch? So, like, be announced.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I saw it. God, you guys are so quick. Is that Ricky Grundy Jr.?
Yes.
Yes, Ricky Grundy Jr. with August.
According to the report from ET News where they talked about the no buttons and all of that stuff, they said they will announce it in August.
Yep.
And possibly launch the same month. So August.
All right. Congratulations again, Ricky. I am ready for question number the final.
Oh, final.
Last 5th question. Here we go.
All right, here goes. Question number 5 is up now.
Ooh. Which year did LG launch the G3, its first phone with a quad HD display?
Yes.
Again, which year did LG launch the G3, its first phone with a quad HD display?
Damien?
Coming quick. Yeah, Damien Holguin?
Yep, Damien. 2014. 2014.
Yes. Congratulations, Damien. So, if you guys have never won trivia before, I'm pretty sure a few of you have, but if you have not, that would be Ben Jacobs, Eli Kuznikov, Zachary Webb, Ricky Grundy Jr., and Damien Holguin. I'm going to put my fax number in here because I don't do emails anymore. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm going to put my email in the chat. You guys will email me, and I will make sure that you get your Google Play credit today.
We need like a fax button I can hit to make the noise. Oh no, that's like the modem noise. We need a fax noise too.
Yeah.
I need a soundboard. I think I need to upgrade the podcast with a soundboard. It's tempting. Email Tim right now, winners. I think Ben already emailed me. Ben, I will forward you on to Tim.
Boom, boom, boom. Tim at droid-life.com.
Ben's like, send my money now.
Now. He's obviously got something he wants to.
I think he already got you anyway.
Yep, I see it.
All right, great.
Ben. Fantastic.
That was trivia.
That was a good show. Thanks to 50 Bomb Don, the man.
He's
Bomb.
still up there. He's still at the top. Floating.
He'll be there till tomorrow.
He will be there. Outside of Don, thanks Nick, Dustin, Clinton, Xavier, Russell, Scott twice, and Don again for all the donations. Fantastic. Appreciate all that support.
I hope everyone has a safe and fun weekend.
Yeah, it's beautiful here in Portland. I don't know what it's like in your neck of the woods, everyone else, but it is. It's beautiful here. Yeah, we'll probably be back next week. What's going on these days in terms of Android? Well, the G8's coming soon.
G8's coming soon.
We've already reviewed Samsung stuff. We got Android Q, but it's kind of janky now. I don't know. There's stuff. Google I/O's coming soon. A month, a month and a half, something like that.
I literally have.
Oh my God.
I have like 1,000 cases for the Galaxy S10 and S10 Plus. So next week, early next week, you're going to see a video of Tim talking about the greatest cases for the Galaxy S10 and S10 Plus. Then we're going to do a massive giveaway. So if you have an S10 or S10 Plus, get ready for that.
And speaking of not related at all, Damien just dropped $10 donation. Said, have a great weekend, guys.
Whoop, whoop.
Thanks, Damien. Thank you so
Damien,
much,
beers
awesome.
are on you and Dawn this weekend.
Big Dono Bomb Don. I think I change that every time I say it.
It sounds good either
Dono
way, no
Bomb
matter what
Don.
it is.
It does sound
Dude,
really good.
man.
And Damien, thanks for the $10. Damn.
Much appreciated, guys. Namaste.
All right, cool. Well, anything else? I think that's it.
That might be it. Thank you guys again so much. We'll catch you next time.
All right. Droid Life Show episode 199. Next episode is 200.
200.
Peace.
Peace.